I'm going to be doing a mock draft today. It's going to be from FC Hockey. I found this mock draft builder. I was on another channel and they were using it and I really liked it. So I think it's going to be quick and easy. It's a what I think will happen mock draft. So I'm just going to put my mind to the test, what I think is going to happen based on what I'm hearing. We're going to do a one round mock top 32. So with this pick, obviously, I believe it's going to be Matthew Schaefer. We've heard it over and over about that they really like him. Matthew Darsh talked today about how they're not going to trade the pick. I just think it's going to be one of the slam dunk picks in the entire draft. Anything could happen on Friday, but I do not think the Islanders are going to select someone other than the top pairing elite defenseman and Matthew Schaefer. He played 17 games, had 22 points. This guy compares himself to Cale Makar. His assistant coach at Erie Otters also did. Miro Heiskanen is also one of his comps at the combine. He could play 20, 25 minutes a night. And I think that his offensive skill set showed a lot this year after his defensive skill set showed a lot the year before. So second pick goes to the San Jose Sharks, and they're going to be running to their phone to get Michael Misa. There's some talk here about Frondell, but I feel like that's just smoke. I don't think that you can draft Frondell over Misa. Maybe it happens. Blackhawks fans like me would be super excited if it did, but for this specific mock, I think the odds are getting closer that it could be Frondell, but I'm going to go with Misa. And then I think Blackhawks are going to get Anton Frondell. Cam Robinson tweeted yesterday that he's locked and loaded into the top three now. He will be drafted at least third overall. So that's kind of his stopgap. So, I feel like this is a good pick for the Blackhawks. Best shooter in the entire class, our top two. He's very heavy. His slap shot is absolutely incredible. You get this guy in office, and like Ovi does, and it's nothing like Ovi, but I'm just saying, like, once he figures out where he can score 40 goals a year, this guy's going to be going to that area. He's going to be good on the power play. I think that he could be a 2C for the Blackhawks, or maybe with Connor Bedard, it would be really good. Transition game is going to continue to increase or improve when he goes to the American rink size, which is smaller. So I feel like that would just be the pick here. And for four, I'm gonna have to scroll down here because I think they're taking Brady Martin. Brady Martin from the Sioux is kind of somebody that they continue to say could go top four here. I don't necessarily think that it would be the right pick, but I also see the upside here. His player comp with Sam Bennett. This guy is incredibly strong. I was notified yesterday that from Blue Chip Prospect that he is 180 to 185 pounds after the combine. That was news to me. This guy could definitely add 20 more pounds. I think that if he does, he's going to be an absolute bull on the ice, which is his animal that he said during the combine because the Habs always ask everybody that question. So also Tom Wilson and Zach Hyman were his two other comps. I really do like this guy. I think he's more of a playoff player. So we're gonna go to five here. And somebody that I've been hearing at five is James Haggins. And where's James Haggins here? Oh, he was up there. James Haggins, incredible skater, really good playmaker, 37 points in 37 games in the NCAA level. I just really like how this guy plays. His player comp was James Haggins. I see him more as like a Logan Cooley, Frank Nazar type of tier, but he's nothing like those players either. This guy's more soft skill, obviously. He's definitely under 6 feet. He's 5'11", and he plays like it. But the thing is his IQ, his vision. Get this guy on just let him center one of your top two lines. I feel like he's going to be the steal of the draft. I have him third overall in my rankings. I see no reason why that shouldn't change in this class, but obviously Frandell and Martin are going to leapfrog him, so it's just good on Nashville fans who luck out and get James Haggins here. But at number six overall, I'm gonna go Jake O'Brien because I've heard his name a ton in this spot, and I really like Jake O'Brien. I just talked to his roommate at the combine, Luca Romano, who they've known each other for like 6 years, and he raved about him. His vision is incredible. His passing is tremendous. Really good upside. He's really raw, but I feel like once he understands how to use his body, his 6'2" frame, right-handed center, he's not going to be on the board long. You saw Kirby Doc, a taller right-handed center, get drafted third overall in 2019. I think Jake O'Brien is much more talented, especially offensively. He just has it. So I'm going to go Jake O'Brien here. I feel like that's going to be the locked in pick. I talked to Hot Take Hockey, who works for Brantford. He also said that, he saw Keith Jones, Danny over there, like just always in the arena. So I think it's kind of locked and loaded that this could be Flyers pick right here for Jake O'Brien, but they also just traded for Trevor Zegras. So who knows if they don't see Trevor Zegras as a center, and I don't think that they should make the pick based on Trevor Zegras because he only has a year left and he's an RFA after. You don't really make a decision based on Zegras because there's a chance that they might not even play together. So I'm taking Jake O'Brien, really good upside. I think he's your 2C, maybe your top C if he pans out, which he could because he has a ton of upside. So I think Jake O'Brien here. For the Bruins, because Caleb Desnoyers is still on the board, I'm going to go Caleb Desnoyers here. He's just best player available. 62% on the faceoff percentage for centers this year. Just he had to play wing most of the year because he hurt his wrists, both of them, two bum wrists since November or December. So this guy has been playing hurt. He might need surgery on one based on blue chip prospect, he told me, but we never really know. I feel like this would just be a really good pick for the Bruins just to take your 2C for the rest of the like 10 years. I think this guy has extreme upside, really good scoring ability, but he's going to be in the Selke like race for a very long time. This guy is very good defensively. He can take plays off, especially in transition, but he also gets bored out there in the queue. I feel like if he makes the jump to the NCAA level, he could absolutely be a superstar just based on how he plays. Really good shot, really good vision, really good skater. I just really like a lot of his game. I don't really see anything elite in there other than the defense, but that's obviously something good to have. So number 8, I'm going to go Porter Martone. Usually this would be Radim Merca, but Porter Martone's falling. You got to just take the best player available if you're Seattle. I think you could really market this kid as one of your best players on your team. I think that he could be a 40-goal scorer. I talked to Steven Ellis and Chris Peters. They both said that the skating is not that much of an issue because he's only gotten better the last 4 or 5 years. Once you go to an NHL or NCAA facility, they're going to allow him to really become a better skater. So I really like this fit for Porter Martone here in Seattle. They're going to take their time. You saw what they're doing with Shane Wright. So I like it. I think obviously he's my fourth ranked player. I really like the value here at 8. But let's go to 9. Victor Eklund, I'm going to select you. I really like your fit with the Sabres. I know that they probably aren't going to draft a lot of smaller players, but I just really like Victor Eklund. I could go Radim Merca here, but I really do like Victor Eklund's play. He's 170 pounds, but he plays like he's 200. Always driving to that center of the net or to the front of the net. He always plays in the middle. He was play driving for Anton Frondel's line. Most of the games you watch, he was looking a lot better than he was or Anton was. So I just really like this pick for the Sabres. You just take best player available. You add somebody that has at 5'11", he plays a lot bigger than he is, so it's not size, but you have that grit, and he also has superstar potential, in my opinion. So if he hits, he could be like his brother William. He had to take the Sweden driver's test over like 5 times, so I think that was the only con in his game. But other than that, he's really great. I would go number 10 here for the Ducks, probably Radim Merca. I really like Radim Merca's game. I think there's going to be 2 defensemen taken off the board since 2010, there's been 2 defensemen in the top 10 for every draft. So I think Radim Merca's 6'6" and a quarter. In Seattle, he played tremendous. He's been playing against men since he was 16 in the Czech League. This guy just has a ton of skill. I don't think he showed it as much in Seattle, but he did put up some good point totals. Really good defensively, can get in lanes, is willing to block shots, and wants to be the best Czech defenseman of all time. I feel like this would just be a really good spot for Radim Merca to go to the Ducks. Obviously, I think Pat Verbeek's going to love this kid. So at number 11, I will say that they probably will take Roger McQueen here. I really like Roger McQueen's game. I think Roger McQueen is an absolute steal at 11. The back injury is probably going to push him down, but he's been pain free for about 48 days now, going back from the combine, which was 30 days pain free. And then there's 18 days after for June 6th. So I just feel like this is the kind of guy that you want on your roster if you are outside of the top 10, because one, Penguins just found out that they have the number 12 overall pick too. It's not changed on FC Hockey, but that is actually the Penguins pick. And two, you're getting a 6'5" right-handed center who has incredible upside, really incredible skill. I think that this guy has some of the best offensive touch in the entire class at this size. He has a good shot. He scored 4 goals in the first game of the season. Go get a McQueen jersey because he's going to be an absolute baller in the league, and you're going to take that upside play. So with that 12th pick, which is the Penguins, I want to preface, is the Penguins pick. They're taking Jackson Smith, one of my favorite defensemen in the entire class. I think that he would probably be higher on my list than Roger or than Radim Merca if he was not left-handed. Being a 6'6" right-handed defenseman pushes Redeemer up. But Jackson Smith is a much better offensive player. He didn't put up the point totals in the dub that I thought he was going to, but he put up a really good point total still. I think that going to Penn State is going to help him develop. He was a swimmer, so it helped him on the VO2 bike. You know, he tested pretty well in the combine. Those numbers were pretty good. I just feel like as an athlete, this guy is going to be able to become what we think Kevin Korchinski was supposed to be, but he's also 6'3". So I really do like Jackson Smith, and I think you just got to take him for the upside. He also is good defensively, too. He's very sound in a multitude of ways. But for 13, I'm going to go Lyndon Lakovich. Um, he's 6'4", but he plays like he's 5'10", in my opinion. When I asked him, like, basically, what were you trying to do when you first got into the dub? He was talking about he had to really understand the game more. He didn't know how to use his body, which he said that he's learning how to do. He's trying to learn how to play that 200-foot game. I asked him what a team is getting in Lyndon Lakovich. They're getting a hard worker, somebody that's going to work his butt off. His agent said he could go in the range from 10 to 20, and I feel like 13, 14, 15, 16 even could be the range. I don't think he's going to fall past both of those Habs picks. So this is a really good pick for Red Wings. I think this is a Stevie Y pick for sure. Lyndon Lakovich has incredible upside. If he hits, he's going to be easily one of your best players in your top six with that offensive upside. Moose Jaw won the championship the year before this year. Then we're in a really bad year. So he knows what winning feels like, and he knows what not winning and losing seasons do to you. So this guy is a really good player. I think he should be a lot higher than this, but there's just too many good players that I can't put him over. And I think Columbus is probably sad to not be able to get him, but they're still going to walk away with Kayshawn Aitchison, which I really like Kayshawn Aitchison. The one thing I will note is Tayshaun Aitchison scored 26 goals this year in the O. Will those all translate? No, but he scored 26 goals. So he has incredible scoring touch. He always finds space in the offensive zone. He's just open a lot. I feel like he uses his physicality in the right way. He's not taking dumb penalties. The skating is probably the worst thing he does. He's actually a worse skater than Porter Martone. Shout out Stephen Ellis, who told me that. And then I went to go back and watch some clips of both of them. He is right. It's probably the get off of the line is the hardest thing for both of those players. But when you watch Porter Martone clips, there are still defenders that are chasing him in transition. Somebody said this to me in the comment section, and I completely agree. He is when he picks up pace, he's not slow. Keyshawn Aitchison isn't slow either, but he's definitely not as good of a skater as Martone, and Martone's one of the worst skaters in the top 10. I think if he wasn't a top 10 player, like Stephen Ellis said on my pod, he wouldn't have this much conversation around it. But you still got to talk about it. Kayshawn Aitchison needs to work on his skating. I think he knows that. He needs to improve that. But if he does, he's going to be a very good player. And I think someone that could get drafted to the Penguins. But I'm going to give him Jackson Smith instead. I think that I like that fit better. But for the Canucks, if they keep the pick, I think they're going to walk away with Justin Carbonneau here. I really like Justin Carbonneau. I think that it's a really good value to get the best shooter in the entire class. He can shoot from anywhere. Shout out Link from New Wave Hockey. This guy just got the captaincy, and it's to try to get him to stay in the queue. They just brought over Bill Zonin for 3 first-round picks, who we will get into later in the mock. But I just feel like Justin Carbonneau is one of those steals that you got to take. He's really great. I think that he gets a little he gets conversation towards him being hard on his teammates, but it's just because his hockey IQ is so big that he obviously just wants to get the best out of all of his teammates. It's Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant-esque. So I really like that. If there's a guy that's going to win you championships, it could be Justin Carbonneau because he has that. He hates losing. Yeah, a lot of these guys do, but you could see it on the ice when it's not coming together. And they had a really good season. So he did too. I mean, I think, was the highest point producer in the queue this year. I really like his game. But let's go to 16, and I think they're gonna run to their phone to get Carter Bear. Carter Bear lacerated his Achilles, but he's already skating and going to be working out in the off season, doing off season activities. I think that if it was a true like ACL tear or whatever the diagnosis was before, he would be out 8 to 12 months. He dodged a bullet. I absolutely think this guy should be in the top 12, but the Habs are going to get a steal here. So I feel good. And if you're a Habs fan, you got to be happy. And for their second pick, I'm going to go Cam Reed because he's just falling, in my opinion. Cam Reed is one of those players that could go a lot higher in this class, or he could fall. This is one of those weird classes that you never really know where a player is going to go, obviously in any class, but this is really a weird one where from like there's probably a drop off at 2, then there's a drop off at 10, then there's a drop off at like 14, and then from like 14 down to like 26, you probably have the same range of player, and then from 26 to 40, you probably have the same range. So Reed probably doesn't fit what the Habs need necessarily. They could go for a right-handed defenseman in Logan Hensler, which I really do like his game too, but I'm going to give them Cam Reed. I think he's a really good player. Defenseman, left-handed. He's 6 feet, which kind of hurts him, but other than that, he's really skilled. So for Calgary, I'm going to go Colin Potter here. Colin Potter's one of the best skaters in the entire class. He has a ton of skill. I think playing in the NCAA, it really showed how he can put stats up against 22 to 25-year-olds, and he is under 5'11. So I feel like that was kind of like, will he be able to translate to more physical play? And he did. And his arms are a lot bigger than I thought, seeing him at the combine. So I'm going to go Porter there, Potter there. Colin Harry Potter is what I call him because he's a wizard on the ice. It hasn't really picked up steam, but I hope it does. And then Braden Coots is coming off the board here. Braden Coots for the St. Louis Blues. I really do like Braden Coots. He's a two-way center. I think that this guy is consistent on all levels. Even at Chipotle, he goes every day. They know him by name. He is somebody that was the captain of the Canada team that won gold. Cam Schmidt said he was the hardest player to play against the combine in the WHL because he was always by your hip, like mosquito-like. And also, Redeem Merca said he was the best teammate he ever had. So I really like Brandon Coots and Braden Coots, and his comp for himself was Braden Point, another Braden. So I really like that. And then Columbus here, I think is going to go with Malcolm Spence. I really do like Malcolm Spence game. I think that kind of people are not as high on him as I am. I had him like in the top 15 for a little while. That kind of cooled after the playoffs and the combine and everything, but he had an incredible playoffs playing without Matthew Schaefer, who was their best player. He took a step up. His intensity and his tenacity really show during the playoffs. I think he is a playoff player. At minimum, he's going to be a third line contributor. Very good third liner. I think he could be a decent second liner. He shows incredible prowess. His aura is there. It's like Shane Gillis Alexander aura. I'm gonna just throw that out there now. When you talk to him, you know this guy could be a star. I think that if a team is going to get him in the 20s, you're getting an absolute steal. I could see star potential with him. And it's not based on that he is anything elite. He just does everything well. And you could always trust him if you're a coach. I think that he is going to put up some major numbers in the playoffs. So for the Senators, they kept this pick, and I feel like they are going to go with a splash here, probably whoever best player available is. But I'm going to go Cole Rezny because I just like Cole Rezny's game. I think that no one helped their stock more than him the last 2 months of the season. Going into the playoffs, the first 6 games and then going into the playoffs. So 6 games before the season ended, he was on an absolute tear. He brought that to the playoffs, and then he just continued to destroy. He was putting up Gavin McKenna numbers, like I had said. I think when you're offensively skilled but you're under 6 feet, you have to put up a lot of points in your draft year to be in this range. And I think he did just that. So we're going to go to Philadelphia's second pick in the first round. I think that they're going to take, I'll say Blake Fiddler here. I think they will go defenseman with one of these three picks. I think that you're just kind of just taking the best available defenseman on the board. He's 6'4". He was mobile. He is more of a defensive defenseman, but I could totally see his offensive upside. So I think that Flyers are going to just try to build. They have 7 or 6 now because they traded the Trevor Zegras 45th pick, but they have 6 picks in the first 50 picks. So I think they're just going to try to replenish a lot of their entire pool. One of them is going to be a goalie probably in that as well. So we might see goalie at 31 if that's what pans out in this mock. But I'm going defense here. So Predators, I think that they're going to go somebody like a Logan Hensler. I think Logan Hensler kind of fits them. Right-handed defenseman, 6'2", really offensively skilled in my opinion. I don't think he showed it as much as he could have, but I really do like him. He was the youngest player on his team in Wisconsin. Kind of took that jump a little early in the NCAA, but you can't really fault him for doing that. He wanted to play better talent. He thought it would help his game. So I like Logan Hensler. I'm not gonna lie. I think that he's a great defenseman. So I'm gonna put him at the Predators pick at 23. 24, I'm gonna go Ben Kindle. He was the clutchest player that I've seen this year. He had like 5 overtime wins. I think that this guy could fall because of his skating issues, being under 6 feet. I think he's like 5'10". I feel that he shouldn't fall because of his scoring ability. He can put a lot more weight on his frame. I feel like Ben Kindle is a slam dunk pick. And then for the Blackhawks, I'm gonna go Vaslav Nestrasil. I don't know where he is, so 37 overall. Vaslav is 6'6", plays for Muskegon Lumberjacks. He has a ton of upside. He had 4 brothers. One of them got drafted in the third round of the draft to the Red Wings. Andre Nestrasil, way back when. He has always grown up around hockey. I really do like this guy. I think he could be a star. If there's a star probability, I think it could be in the 30s percent, but that's like high for this range. I think that if he hits, he's going to be a first line player, top 6 maybe. Like he just has a lot of rawness to his game, and at that 6'6" frame, he put up 0 points on his first 8 games last year in the USHL, and that was just the taste. This year he went on an absolute tear. They won the championship. He was a big reason why. If he continues that trend, he could be like an Artem Levshunov-esque player, where he just took the Belarus jump to the US, to the he took a huge jump everywhere, like Belarus to I like NCAA to AHL to NHL in 3 years. I think that it's just really a great path for Nestrasil to be a Blackhawk with that size. So Nashville, I think, is going to take Jack Nesbitt, 6'4", old style, like retro center. I think that this guy is going to put up some numbers. Maybe he's not the most effective point producing player. Maybe he's not going to go on the power play and whatnot, but I think Nashville just needs their players. I think that they're going to take a goalie at 34 as well. Maybe they take a goalie here, but I just really like this pick. For the Capitals, I'm going to go Bill Zonin. He's an owl out there. He's very intelligent. He played chess when he was younger. I think that him getting traded for 3 first-round picks kind of shows the value of what kind of person this guy is. He's really great on and off the ice. He's a ball, like he's a puck knower. I feel like that's awesome. So Capitals are going to get their guy there. I think the Winnipeg Jets are going to take Sasha Boumedienne. I've heard a lot about this guy going in the top 25. If he falls past that, I could see a playoff team picking this guy up. He didn't really look that great, but playing in the NCAA, going to BU, um, Victor Klingstell said he was the hardest player to play against, another NHL draft prospect at the combine. So he's getting rave reviews from the right people. I'm gonna say Calgary is gonna go with Will Horkoff. I really like Will Horkoff here. 6'4", has a lot of potential. I think going to Michigan is going to really help him. I just really like this play. I think you got to go size here for Calgary. And yeah. But for the Hurricanes, I'm gonna go Milton Gastrin. I really like Milton Gastrin's game. Leader for Sweden. This guy is somebody that is not afraid to go into the center of the ice, can screen the goalie, has really good hands, really good down-to-earth player. In my interview with him, he kind of talked a lot about the NHL draft process, gave me some very candid answers. Really good person. I'm really rooting for him. For Flyers, they're going to go Joshua Ravensbergen, 6'5" goalie out of the dub. Really like this kid. I think that they're going to take a goalie, and if he's there at 22 or if he's there at 31, they might pull the trigger on this. I really do like this guy. The San Jose Sharks at 32 to close this out. I think they're going to go Von Sagi. I'm going to go Shane Van Sagi. I really do like Shane. I think that this guy's going to be great. Third line player for them. Gives you 216 pounds of just I'm going to destroy you out there. I really like that. So to close out the mock, this is the first round. Tell me what you think in the comments, and I will be back next time with the what I would do mock. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and see you next time.